We're back. Alright, folks, ladies and gentlemen, people of all ages, we are back at the shed, the laboratory, the base of operations, pretty much where all the planning happens. And as you can see, we got the Audi here. Now, oh man, I left my torch. I left my torch at the house.
Stupid.
Crisis averted. I did have to drive all the way back home. That was fun. Waste of time. We brought the Audi to the workshop. Or the garage, or the lockup, or whatever you want to call it. Doesn't matter. Today, we're doing the radiator. Oh, why was I so close? I wanted to do it when I was working on the vehicle at work, but I didn't have the time, and it took a bit longer to do the oil leak than I expected with all the cleaning. No more dirty ass oil leak. I don't know, that's probably not helping at all. Screw it. Anyway, but yeah, I've never actually done a radiator on one of these. It can't be that bad. I mean, it's essentially a Golf, right? Most likely gonna have to pull the fan out from the bottom because of the AC lines and the which is not ideal. Although if I take this hose out, I might be able to shift it this way. But the problem is it's the front cradle. You may be able to move it back slightly and come out the top. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see down there. The nice thing about this, once again, when engineers cared about us technicians and mechanics and stuff, they got a nice little drain sort of faucet down here, which I can turn and just drain the coolant out before I remove the hose. Not on the new Audis though. On the new Audis, you got to pull out the quick release coupling. The coolant falls on absolutely everything and sprays all over the place. They're not building the cars to be maintained anymore. They're building them to last an X amount of time with the least amount of intrusive maintenance as possible, and get rid of it, trade it in and get a new one. I remember when I first started in the trade in 2009, you would have service schedules for almost everything in the vehicle. Engine, transmission, driveline, final drive, so on and so forth, cooling systems, AC, everything. Everything had a scheduled service. Things had to be done at X amount of time or kilometers, right? You would change the transmission oil at 60,000 kilometers, be it automatic, CVT, manual, whatever, right? Now, well, not now, I mean, this started way back when they had lifetime fluids. Lifetime fluids. The biggest load of bullshit, because it's not lifetime, it's the car's lifetime. It's just as long as the car needs to last, which is generally 6 to 10 years at maximum. Same with cooling systems. Drain the coolant out, replace the coolant, and basically refresh the system and maintain it, you know, to reduce the amount of corrosion or contamination. Coolant actually lubricates the water pump. It lubricates the system. But anyway, that neither here nor there. That has been removed. And yes, people can argue that the fluids and stuff have gotten better, which means their lifespans have gotten longer. I get that. The main thing is to make these vehicles as least inconvenient as possible to service them. But that's how the marketing team is branding the cars going forward. You only have to bring your car in once every 2 years or 48,000 miles between services, which is the worst idea you could ever suggest. Instead of making the cars non-maintainable, just pumping out vehicles every single year, model after model, facelift after facelift, with all new tech and new gimmicks in it to try and make it appealable to the masses. Another sense of electronic whiteware, of just like TVs. Just gonna get a new TV, my old TV can just land in the landfill. Shit doesn't get recycled properly. Instead of that, why not build cars, find a way to make them easily maintainable, not harmful to the environment as possible, as you possibly can do. I guarantee you that will be more sustainable than just pumping out products like it's going out of fashion. It's crazy, man. I'm just saying, like, that's my opinion. I could be wrong. I don't know, but that's my opinion. there. So there's my little pipe. I say a little, but it's a pretty big pipe actually. Yeah, and I'm going to open up. There we go. Look at the coolant flow. And we're pretty much empty in here as well now. So not really much remaining in there except for a little bit. That will all come out. We decide to fill the system up again and run it and essentially flush it, basically, is what we're going to be doing. So yeah, let's carry on. Yes! Ah! Yeah, thought you could beat me. That O-ring looks alright. I don't know if you can see in there. In there is the O-ring I'm talking about. You actually get them separate. I've said this on a couple of my Instagram videos as well. I'll show you. There you go. As you can see, brand new. There's the part number if anybody wants it. 907-653-01. This is obviously for this type of hose, so this won't fit all the hoses, but yeah, if ever this is leaking and somebody tells you you need a whole pipe, yeah, they're lying. And then next step you want to do is put your release clips back, because trust me, if you lose that, they don't sell that separate. Right. Let's get these fan plugs out, and then we'll move on to the bottom hose, which is pretty much the same thing, just in a worse position. Easy view of the clip ring that you need to remove in order to get that lower hose out. So we're going to do that next. And I think I see how this radiator is bolted in. It looks like there's a bolt on this side. I don't know. We'll deal with that now when we get there. Good, I must say. Let me get my apprentice quickly, so you can just hold the pipe out of my way. What am I going to attach you to that's not going to...
here holding my stuff. Full disclosure though, I started this job like a complete imbecile. Alright, I tried to cut corners, I tried to avoid taking off the bumper and loosening the cradle or the lock carrier, and I tried seeing if I could wangle it out without stripping as much as it tells you is required to be removed, and there's no way around it. Sometimes I've noticed with the workshop manual, Elsa in particular, it'll tell you to do things a certain way, and you'll look at it and you'll be like, how?
How, Sway?
You know, you got to remove the whole bumper. Okay, loosen the lock carrier, hang it forward. Remove. It's not the fender liners, but it's a sort of side undercover on the left and right, so you have a little bit more space on the inside. Then you need to loosen up the condenser, pull it forward, and just hang it, because it's going to hang loose, because you don't remove the AC gas from the system, it stays inside. Then so you got to get the fan out. The manual says you need to drop the fan from the bottom, which that doesn't really make it any easier, because you have so the fan cowling and the fan sit here, and you need to remove it out. Obviously the manual says you can drop it at the bottom, but you have the bottom section of the lock carrier here, which doesn't make it any easier. You still need to move the radiator forward, as well as it sits behind the receiver dryer, and it's got I don't know if you can see the mounting points for the radiator, which just slide out. It's not that difficult to get it out, but the problem is to angle the radiator down. So the fan cowling, I drop down on one side diagonally.
Diagonally. What did you say, dear?
Diagonally.
Turned it 90 degrees and then pulled it out, so as if it was in a rectangular position. And I did the same with the radiator, but getting it back in is going to be a nightmare, because you obviously don't want to damage the new radiator. A few good things that I did notice: this is the original part number, so this radiator has never been replaced. You can see where it's started to give in, but down here is specifically where the leak was, and that's why we're replacing the radiator. I need to remove this thermo switch now. I didn't order a seal for that, and I'm hoping that that seal is okay, otherwise this job is going to be paused. So this radiator, I didn't get a genuine radiator, obviously, because if you watched the last video you would have seen that the genuine radiator is 1,000 New Zealand dollars, so that ain't happening. So from Repco we got a flow cooler radiator, which is made in Australia,
China.
yeah, this looks like the one. Yeah, made in China. Let's go swap. They say don't open, but I need to open because it doesn't look like this actually a washer or a seal. It's discolored, but I think it's discolored just where the mating surface is. I'm happy with that. Slot. So there's a difference in the radiators. If you see, it's got a sort of machined out section, or whatever you want to call it, a cutout, that on the old radiator has something that goes in there to locate it, but this doesn't, so it sits a lot looser. Typical of things that are not made genuine. Not everything fits so easy. See how difficult it is to fit this mount on this side versus kind of wild, bro. So good. It's enough light to see, but the one mount sits back here between the AC components and the other one sits down here. So when you're putting the radiator in, you can't slot the radiator in with the mountings attached, same as this side. here and down there. It just doesn't go in. So what I did was, eventually I fitted the 2 mounts in this side, bolted them in, and then I angled the radiator into those mountings and left the 2 mountings on this side on the radiator, and then slid them into place. And now I'll bolt them in place. That was much easier because you can't just slide the radiator straight in, like as if you're pulling it towards yourself from staying in front of the vehicle. There's no space. You have to angle it when putting it in, when mounting it. There's just no other way. You have to angle it. So now what we can do is bolt up the radiator mounts, well, the last 2 radiator mounts, bolt the condenser to the radiator, and then we can start reassembling and fill it with coolant and start and let it run. I think we fixed the problem. We are running. I just want to get all that green coolant out, bro. I am going to now put the heat on because I'm cold.
What?
Don't say that when I'm recording.
Sorry.
Another Coxie's thing. Hey, yo, what kind of channel is this?
It's one of the best. They adapt to these, and it's just like shoot.
Oh yeah, I know what it is. Yeah. I forgot to bring my little vacuum bleed. I was just gonna use the vacuum bleed, but I was just like, fuck it, I'll just fill it up. Yeah. It's not like I'm driving it anywhere right now. I'm just fucking put the bumper on, get it warm, drain it out, fill it up again, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yo. Right, nice. So now we're just gonna get it nice and warm, and we'll probably end up draining the coolant, and then at the end of the day when we go home, I'll just remove this cluster quickly, and then we'll strip it at home tonight and see what the problem is with that RPM gauge. Heat is working, which is good. It's getting nice and warm, so that means the car is warming up slowly. Yeah, so far so good. So weird way to just cut the video, but I kind of ran out of time, and I didn't really have a lot of battery life left in both the cell phone and the GoPro, so I had to cut it short there. But basically, I got the car back together, I got it running. I haven't put the bumper back on. I do have a leak from the thermo switch, which is what I thought would be the case. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to come up with another solution for that. In the meantime, I managed to take the cluster out. There it is. And as you can see, it is a Jaeger cluster. So we're going to strip this and have a look at, before I go down the rabbit hole of getting stepper motors and whatnot, I'm going to first check if maybe there's a loose connection somewhere that I can see. Otherwise, the stepper motor for this is going to be ordered, because that's pretty much what I figure it's the only thing it can be. So let's have a look. Let's take the back cover off, front cover off, and let's see what we find. Just these small torque screws. Board pad should be more than enough. I'm a bit bummed out by that whole situation with the thermo switch, but I had a feeling that was going to happen. It just seemed like the fact that there was no way to seal it up, and it going on a, why won't you come out, bro? Let's just do the next one. And it not having some sort of washer or anything, and it mounting onto a plastic housing, I knew that there was going to be a leak there. So I'll have to come up with some other solution to rectify that. I might actually end up using like plumber's tape to solve that issue. I think we're okay to take this cover off now. Just these tabs. And there's the glass cover off. Put that over there. So now I don't want to have to remove all of this necessarily if I don't have to. I only need to sort out the RPM side. So, no, don't lose that. That's a very valuable screw, man. This tab I need to remove there, as well as this tab I need to remove there. Funny thing I figured out from about Jaeger from researching on these instrument clusters is that they make watches. Originally started making watches. So there we go. Let's put that there. I'm gonna lean this over nicely. So there's the little stepper motor that is giving our problem that we need to remove. So from what I can see, you got to pull those tabs back and the stepper motor itself just pulls out. I don't see, it doesn't look like you need to control switches. This is magnetic Marelli on it as well. So magnetic Marelli obviously made the PCB boards and stuff, and then Jaeger obviously did the instrument side. Where is my phone? I need to take a picture of where that needle is placed because I've got to put it back in the exact same position. So I would put a little mark here. Maybe I can. I have a mark on the side of the white housing where the needle is lined up on, and then I can pretty much line it up back there. Perfect. But I've made a slight mark just over there, so I know, oh, don't break it, where the needle lines up. Now the question is, according to the videos, they say you're supposed to rotate the cluster while pulling it. Okay, that wasn't so bad. That's out. Needle is out. Still nervous as hell. Now I need to remove the actual unit. So these pins are what hold in. I need to move them away. These pins here, I need to move them away and then raise it up. I don't see anything wrong with the PCB board from a quick glance. Everything actually looks pretty damn good. Yeah, that's how we do it. Nice. Up like so. Come on, stop going down. Okay, so slowly, gently, remove motor. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I'm going to order this unit and then hopefully it's right. It doesn't seem like anything broke in here. And the pinpoints look good of where it goes into the board. Get a new one, replace it, put it in, and see if it works. That's where we're at. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But So yeah, we'll leave it there. That's pretty much that. Next time we'll be on, we'll be hopefully fitting this and rectifying that water leak, and then we'll be pretty much moving on to the easy stuff like the brakes and things like that. Get that all sorted, and hopefully get it ready for sale. Anyway, if you're watching, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you all later. Peace.